Fabulous Engineering Limited, Zambia's largest and most advanced modern engineering company. We provide superior engineering solutions of any scale and are committed to delivering highly professional and comprehensive service to our customers, ensuring complete satisfaction. We are unaffected by power cut as we have installed 2 high-capacity generators. This guarantees round-the-clock efficiency. FAIR boasts of unique and exclusive machineries such as lathe, universal boring and milling, internal slotting, surface grinder, shaping, radio drilling, heat treatment furnace for hardening, shutter manufacturing, ducting pipe manufacturing, rolling, plate banding, hydraulic press, plasma cutting machines, fuel pump testing bench, injector testing machine, hydraulic pipe clamping machine, hydraulic pipe fitting, and many more. We are manufacturing specialists of shop shutters and ducting pipes. We also offer the following services: maintenance and repair and on-site support. Call us on 0955 764 011, 0979 698 382 or 0969 064 419. Email info@fabulousengineering.com. We are located at plot number 7204 Kachiza Road, Light Industrial Area in Lusaka. Fabulous Engineering Limited, Zambia's largest and most advanced engineering company.
A warm welcome to Camnet Television Main News. Camnet TV, not just another channel. The headlines: rural primary schools not ready to open. Onza no longer a COVID quarantine center. Brenda Wukowa. Zafiko declares dividend. Promote unity and sanity in the country. Mumba. George Floyd's death sparks violent protest in USA. With the news in detail, join me shortly after this.
Savenda General Insurance Limited is a young and vibrant insurance company that is focused on changing the outlook of the insurance landscape.
At Savenda General Insurance, we believe in a quick settlement of claims because we believe the customer is the reason why we exist.
Such living proof motivates us to know that you can count on us to actually be there for you in times of need.
We have been able to pay claims of about 14 million kwacha.
Savenda General Insurance Limited offers aviation, agriculture, marine, fire, motor vehicle, engineering and construction, and miscellaneous insurance.
Come and see what we're able to offer, what we can do. You will never be disappointed because we are here for you.
For further details, call us on 0211 250 278 or 0955 555744.
Thank you so much for joining us with the news in detail. My name is Jessie Kalambo. The Medical for Quality Health Care in Zambia, MQHZ, and National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NAQUAZ, say that 3/4 of rural primary schools are not ready to reopen next week, adding that they will need about 2 weeks more. The two organizations made the announcement after monitoring a total of 631 schools across the country between 22nd and 28th of May. The organizations advised government to give rural primary schools 1 or 2 weeks in order for the institutions to receive all protective materials for both teachers and learners during this devastating period of COVID-19. Out of the 631 schools monitored, 413 were primary schools, whilst 218 were secondary schools and 308 were rural schools, while 323 were urban schools. According to information received by Camnet News in a monique issued by MQHZ Director General Dr. Queens Mwabo and NAQUE's Executive Director Aaron Chansa, 290 of the 308 or 94.2 rural schools visited do not have sanitizers, face masks, thermometers, and lack furniture to make social distancing a reality. The schools are also to undergo proper sanitation, as their current state is a possible breeding ground for COVID spreading. Meanwhile, out of 323 urban schools visited, 298, representing 92.3%, had put in place measures necessary for reopening, except that they all lacked masks and thermometers. Due to advantaging locations and economic standing of most urban schools, the two unions recommend that they go ahead and reopen next week on 1st June 2020. Gender Minister Elizabeth Piri has called for increased participation of women in politics. Ms. Piri says women have for long been left behind and not considered when it came to political participation. She says it is high time society started supporting them to aspire for political office. And the minister challenged political parties to adopt 50% of women in the coming 2020 general elections. She was speaking during the launch of a manual on women leadership and political violence management by Zambia Center for Interparty Dialogue, ZCID, today. Here is a report.
The launch of ZCID manual has come at the right time. We are all aware that Zambia will be heading towards the 2021 general elections, and more reasons women must be supported to take part in violence-free environments. However, this is the time we all wish to take cognizance of the more severe effects and impacts political violence is now having on gender equity and the rights of women to participate in leadership and elections without having to fear more the physical security or intimidation in the line with the Constitution, the SADC and Maputo protocols.
And ZCID says the launch of the manual will contribute positively to achieving more numbers of women in politics. Mr. Silavwe says Zambians should stand to support women in politics if development is to take shape in the country. Meanwhile, William Chilufya, representing Hivos, says it is projects like what ZCID has embarked on that will see women be empowered and have a safe space in politics. He has a hope that women can make it in Zambian politics only if they are supported by society. Let's take a look. Some small-scale business owners have expressed disappointment with government decision to import schools' desks while local competitors lack support despite producing quality items. This reaction follows the announcement by General Education Minister David Mabomba that this ministry will no longer be importing school desks because the country has enough capacity to produce them. In an interview with Camnet News this morning, some local carpenters are calling on government to consider engaging them in such projects, as doing so has the potential to elevate their business. More in this report.
Following the revelation by General Education Minister David Mabomba that government has been importing desks from outside the country, Some local carpenters are shocked to learn that millions of kwachas have been floating in the hands of outsiders. Yesterday, David Mabumba disclosed that government will no longer be importing school desks as the country has enough capacity to do so.
What Mansa Skills has done is a demonstration that Zambia has the capacity to manufacture or make its own local desks. When you import furniture for the schools, you are sending wealth, you are sending jobs for the Zambian people to those countries. And under my leadership, that will never happen to be importing things, unless I'm directed otherwise.
However, local carpenters are saddened by the revelation and are calling on government to consider engaging them in such projects, as doing so will help boost their businesses.
If not pushing that we kuma bank kuba kupero, it's very difficult to understand because the what we shiba. Na alikuwa tena mapepa za kupakila na alikuwa particular kwa process kaini kuma bank nayo kuma bank kutoala na wala pesa ngani banani. So nga government ngabali kwa abantu akulana ati batuma bamona ma workshops abantu abale performa bwino. Bali kwa abantu abuntu batuma ba establish bwino bwino bamona uyu muntu bichitsiriwo lo akutinti abuti wo tete abutuke. Kwa bafeba wautnambire mu wache bu carpentry na nomba ndastafya carpentry but nshaka takusha balampo kapoloni kuli konse na alikuwa tabantu pona ba 28 yebo ndebo mbana bena bali satu salira mana nikane vina ama schools oko tusapula ko tuma itemu tuma beds tuma starting tables so twali ba affected.
Zina yanga ndine Aaron Maunda nankara business ya carpentry for about 10 years so in business here, especially in a disease here, COVID-19, it has been a challenge to us, the carpenters. You find that you zankara maybe a month not selling anything, and we are hearing that government is importing these school desks from other countries, where we have these materials here, we can do better jobs like those imported ones. And if you look at this timber we have, this is local, and it's quite strong and it's durable. And it's very easy ngati what yaonongeka, you can just call us ngati pasa ko tender wa government in case of our school desk panga yaonongeka bangabwa titana ho bwani mshiteko repair vemu na panga vichi. Otherwise timasenza cha bebwino. So only that the government is not supporting us to empower us with certain skills, and tomorrow ntoko wati tashitako improve business yatu. So timatandiza ko wambiri momeno mu business munga ma parents watu siwa sevenza wanakota tikagulisa ko tomeno tuma school desk tukulibena ngwako watu mama private school matitandizako watupasa ko tuma business tachitako leta support ko knife ma parents watu. So kesha ningapempa kwa government kuti watianganireko knife kuti tiliko tipanga ibintu vya machita import from other countries.
Also, government has announced a 10 billion stimulus package to help businesses that have been negatively impacted by the outbreak of the COVID pandemic. However, it is questionable if such businesses have the capacity to benefit from these packages. It is therefore important for government to not only consider skill centers when granting projects for desk making, but also consider small businesses who have the capacity of producing quality items, as doing so will help keep their businesses floating even during this economic hardship. Prudence Chota for Camnet TV in Lusaka.
The University of Zambia Unza Management has confirmed to Camnet News that the higher institution of learning is no longer a quarantine center for people coming from high COVID-19 risk countries. Unza spokesperson Brenda Bukowa confirmed this morning in a telephone interview that the institution is open for business and asked stakeholders to continue conducting business with the institution. Bukowa further explained that the new residence hotels, earlier designated as quarantine areas by government to the Ministry of Health (MO), have now become a safe space for use as they have been disinfected. Let's take a look.
So the University of Zambia has now become safe for use by the university community and also the general public, after the people arising from high-risk COVID-19 areas were relocated to Chinika, to a place in Chinika. So as a university, we're very grateful to the stakeholders that were with us during the period that we hosted the individuals in quarantine. And we'd also like to make mention that the hostels were disinfected yesterday by a team from the Ministry of Health, the District Health Office, the Lusaka City Council, and the District Management Mitigation Unit. So the space is ready for use for our students and also our staff, and also for the general public that come to do business on campus. I would also like to mention that as a university, we are open for business, and as you may be aware that we did not close in the strictest term, because we still maintain conducting our business online through e-learning. So the status quo has maintained until a time that government, through the president, is going to go ahead for the university to open.
University management is therefore thankful to the Ministry of Health and other cooperating partners for the support rendered during the time the institutional infrastructure was in use as a quarantine center. Further gratitude goes to the university community for abiding by the guidelines stipulated by the authorities patented. While you are still watching Camnet Television Main News, we still have more news to come, but for now, we take a break.
I've always been passionate about moving forward as fast as I could. Even as a child, all I ever wanted was to take first place at everything I put work towards. Whether I'm on the track or in the lecture room, my goal is to come out on top.
Growing up, we were always called Mafasho. You could say this paved the way for who we would become. We owe our success to our understanding of the power of storytelling, understanding what people connect to in order to give them what they desire.
We have always been passionate about people and honoring their stories. Our learning experience gave us the knowledge to channel our creativity into a business.
In order to start any successful journey, we must have a place to start. Even if that means we keep our mental image in focus as we become the inevitable solution to society's inevitable problems.
Which is why we all start our journey here.
Can I have that meal over there? And I really want that crisp, fresh apple taste from the garden. Can I have happy apple?
I think I'll have my big bite 2 meal with happy waziwaka. Give us your
enjoy an appetizing big bite meal with an happy drink of your choice. A meal is not a meal without an happy drink. And now introducing Happy in a can.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Movement for Multi-Party Democracy MMD President Dr. Nevas Mumba says government must take advantage of the current challenges in the economy to bring unity and sanity in the country. Dr. Mumba, who featured on Camnet Television Ministry program this morning, urged political parties to put their differences aside and work together in sorting the current debt challenges in the country. Let's take a look.
This is really the pain that most of us are feeling. We think we can do better together than just one political party doing everything alone. I know that they won the election and they are leading the country now, but that doesn't give them the monopoly of all wisdom, because God doesn't do that. Consultation means talk to your other colleagues, because they also feel for this country. So it is important that there's a willingness from the political establishment, including opposition parties, that are saying this issue is a problem of debt. We are ready to become part of the solution. It remains for government to take up that willingness and take advantage of this issue to bring unity in the country. But I think on this matter, we want our dignity back. I think there's a way that you can talk about these things, and we need more chilubas who can go between people and say, this is the common sense. Milo ni mukaba on the receiving end. So do not act like imamukaba fiapa pene forever. Mukafaya wako mushika one day. Without the neighbors mrechitef, limoke sa pepesha na pachilino. So please, so nkalanda finchili ande pepesha. Kwa isa alufyanya. Atibali mpachile. Abaleri hapa mwebantu lesa waluse. No, of course I would never say that. But the point I'm trying to make is that let's be fair with each other while we're still alive. We are a blessing and a gift to one another that God has given to each other. We'll only realize this after these titles we carry are set aside. Really, these titles are temporal, but what God has placed within each one of our hearts, that is eternal.
Meanwhile, NDC President Chishimba Kambwili says the country is not experiencing huge debt burden for the first time, but that through local consultations, the country has been able to manage its debts. Let's take a look.
First and foremost, this is not the first time that Zambia is having a problem of excessive debt, which has affected the national development and, of course, the liquidity in terms of the treasury of the public of Zambia. Whereas this is the kind of Chiluba and Manawasa time until we benefited from the cancellation of debt. The simple question that we must ask, did government at that time hire a consultant whether he paid $5 million? The question is no. Local expertise, local economists came together and advised government. The government at that time was consultative. It consulted the Economic Association of Zambia. It involved the people from the University of Zambia. It involved the serving economists in government. People came together and worked together until we reached the epic completion point. There was no money that was paid to a consultant. So I don't really understand our current government, their thinking.
In business news, the kwacha continued with its downward movement against the United States dollars on Thursday, following a peak in demand on the interbank. The local unit touched an intraday low of 18 kwacha 13 ngwe or 18 kwacha 35 ngwe from the day's opening level of 18 kwacha 20 ngwe or 18 kwacha 25 ngwe. According to Camnet Bank, most players had anticipated that the local unit would continue its rally after it touched an intraday high of 17 kwacha 80 ngwe or 17 kwacha 85 ngwe on Wednesday this week. Interim trends suggest that the local unit will mainly be driven by demand and supply factors, with market sentiment playing a minor role. By close of business on Friday, the kwacha was trading at 18 kwacha 37 ngwe against the United States dollars. Meanwhile, in money markets, the commercial bank's aggregate current account decreased by 13 kwacha 50 ngwe to 2 kwacha 61 ngwe, while the overnight borrowing and lending rate decreased by 0.12% to 9.30%. Total funds traded on interbank was 344 million. The Zambia Forestry and Forestry Industries Corporation PLC, Zafico, has announced the final shareholder dividend of 0.683% share, with 23rd June 2020 being the last payable day. Acting Corporation Secretary Daniel Liberty announced in a notice that at the annual general meeting held electronically on 15th of May 2020, a final dividend for the period ended 31st December 2019 was approved by the shareholders of the company. In accordance with the requirements of the Securities Act 2016 and the listing rules of the Lusaka Securities Exchange, the note has therefore given the dividend shall be payable to shareholders registered in the company's books at the close of business on Friday, 26th of June 2020, payable on 17th of July 2020. The company's transfer books and register will be closed from Wednesday, 24th of June 2020 to Friday, 26th of June 2020, both days inclusive, Liberty said. At least 15 people have been killed following an attack on a convoy transporting traders in a town in northern Burkina Faso on Friday, the government has said. The attack carried out by an unidentified group of assailants theft several others wounded. Many more were still unaccounted for, the government said in a statement on Saturday. Communications Minister Remis Fulgans said following this attack in Lorraine province, the provincial toll mentions 15 dead, wounded and people missing, as well as significant material damage. Burkina Faso has been battling armed groups with links to Al-Qaeda and IS since 2017. Hundreds have been killed in the past year in the Sahel nation, and more than 500,000 people have fled their homes due to attacks, which have also fueled ethnic and religious tensions. We still have more news to come, but for now, we take a break. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Super cereal. Super cereal. Super cereal. Super cereal.
We always start our day with nutritious super cereal. It's so easy to make. Just add hot water or milk. Fortified with essential vitamins, gives you energy and keeps you alert. Super cereal is so good for you. Comes in 3 yummy flavors: original, banana, and strawberry, and tastes so good.
Easy Super Cereal is made from non-GMO maize and soya and is good for the whole family. Found in all leading stores. Quick and easy.
Tastes delicious.
Full of goodness. Makes you stronger.
Super Cereal.
Easy Super Cereal. Brought to you by Java Foods.
We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
The cowbell choco formula has been stolen. Get it back at all costs.
Tasting cowbell choco gives you the get up and go to be at the top of your game. Now with Vita-Rich Plus Iron. Great tasting cowbell choco, a creamy chocolatey drink that helps give energy to get up and go.
Welcome back. In international news, violent protests have ensued in Minneapolis with angry residents burned down Target. Residents are asking the government to charge the cops and bring back unity. The black community now claims that they have learned violence and looting from the whites and that it was about time the scoop lent death come to an end. For more international news, we monitored Fox News.
If you care about your community, you got to put this to an end. It needs to stop. You're not getting back at the police officer that tragically killed George Floyd by looting a town. You're not getting back at anybody. If you have a friend or a family member that is out right now, call them, tell them to come home. It is not safe. It is not right. If we care about our city, let's do the right thing now.
So what I see happening on the streets of Atlanta is not Atlanta. This is not a protest. This is not in the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. This is chaos.
The wave of demonstrations reached right to the president's doorstep. The White House was under lockdown late Friday evening. Earlier, Mr. Trump gave his first extensive remarks on the protests.
Can't allow a situation like happened in Minneapolis to descend further into lawless anarchy and chaos, and we understand that very well. It's very important, I believe, to the family, to everybody, that the memory of George Floyd be a perfect memory.
America is reeling in the middle of a pandemic, suffering its worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, and now once again watching its racial fault lines explode. Barbara Platt-Usher, BBC News, Minneapolis.
On this note, we end our news this evening, but before we go, we take a look at some of the stories that made headlines once again. Rural primary schools not ready to open. Onza no longer a COVID quarantine center, Brenda Wukowa. Zafiko declares dividend. Promote unity and sanity in the country, Mumba. George Floyd's death sparks violent protests in USA. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Camnet Television Men News with me, Jessie Kalambo. Have a blessed evening.